Hi, everybody. It is that time of the year again. It is time for the I-bond interest rate update video. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. Twice a year, 2 times a year, these interest rates change. May 1st, November 1st. We are now past November 1st. We've got the new interest rates. Keep in mind that the rates I'm about to talk about are only if you buy new bonds today. So 5.27% is the current rate, and that is what they call the combined rate. And that's because there's a fixed component, which is right now 1.3%. But again, that fixed component is only if you buy those bonds today. The inflation component, which changes whether you own the bonds or not, is now 3.97%. And I think that's the rate that matters to a lot of folks. You already own these bonds, your inflation rate is going to now be 3.97%. Got a lot on here, so there's an interest rate history of what went on. When we first started doing the videos, the rates went up, then it kind of trended lower. It's ticked up a little bit from the previous 6-month window. I guess what it boils down to is, if you've owned these bonds for longer than a year, does it make sense to sell them? My answer is maybe. I mean, you're getting roughly 4% on these with the inflation rate. Like I said, if you already owned these. Can you get better in a money market? Probably. There's local banks in the area that are now offering 5.3% on just a normal money market account. No commitment. You don't have the pain in the butt that you have dealing with, treasurydirect.gov. But then you have to ask yourself, is it worth going through the hassle of getting your existing I-bonds and cashing them in out of treasurydirect.gov and getting them into a money market? I don't know. I'm going to leave that decision up to you guys. I could argue both sides. So again, if you've already owned the I-bonds, you're looking at roughly 3.97% as your interest rate. Still pretty good compared to what we've had over the last decade. But you could get better in a savings account. So leave that decision up to you guys. Just a quick reminder, if you already own the bonds, you do have to own them at least 12 months. After 12 months, you're able to sell them, but you do incur a 3-month interest rate penalty. If you decide you want the full 12 months of interest, you'd have to own them for 15 months, give up 3 months of interest, you'd have a full year of interest. So, again, must own it at least 1 year on the I-bonds. A lot of folks, I think, have owned these longer than a year, and we're not really worried about not being flexible, but you do have that interest penalty to think about. So, again, think it over. Still a pretty attractive interest rate, a little bit higher than we saw over the previous 6-month window. Going to leave that decision in your court. If you have any questions, by all means, call Lance or I. Have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe it's coming up. Just knocking on the door. It's unbelievable. So very happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. We look forward to seeing everybody soon.